along with the heat heating up, I definitely felt a little bit of allergy season coming to get me. A bunch of the trees kind of around my house bloomed in the last like week and a half. I walked to work this morning, for example, I could like smell the damn pollen in the air. All right, every year for a long time now, it's been like, there's usually a couple weeks out of the year where my nose gets particularly messed up. It wasn't as bad today, though, actually. What was it? Like yesterday? Yesterday was a lot worse. I actually had like a couple, just while like sitting around at home, I had a couple of moments where it was very much like, oh, we're just gonna sneeze like 4 or 5 times. And before anyone's like, oh, what about getting sick? I am one of the like 3 people in the world who still does take tests, right? And I did take one Saturday that came back a negative, and I wasn't feeling sick. It was really just I'm sneezing more. I'm gonna play a little bit safe and take a test, double check. It's the mosquitoes coming to get you. Oof. That's no fun. You take a test when if you're feeling sick, yeah. There was a while where I was doing it kind of every week. But it's mostly I'll do it once a week whether or not I feel sick. If I'm around somebody who I don't trust, who seems like they're showing some symptoms, like being especially coughy and stuff, so like fellow employees, for example. I'll test weekly whether or not I'm feeling sick if I'm in a situation like that. And I'll make sure to do some extra testing when if I'm like returning from a trip, I will do a little bit of extra testing. If I expect people are coming to see me, and for a little bit after they have visited me, I'll usually do a couple extra tests. But if I'm getting like especially sneezy, or I wake up especially like, this is kind of an annoying thing for me especially. People have no idea when they're contagious. Exactly. Exactly. And that's part of it. Well, that's what testing's for, to at least help. But at a certain point, it's kind of about trust, right? Do you trust the people you're around?
Something about the station platform felt significant.
The fact is, I don't trust most of the people I work with to be testing
An echo.
when they feel sick. It's teaching me the echo thing now. Oops, I accidentally learned it already.
Come here before me on the trail of a murder cult. He'd gone missing.
But yeah, people have no idea when they're contagious. That's part of why I'm just always wearing a mask, right?
To follow, connecting the dots from one murder to the next, inviting me to draw an obscene picture on the city map.
But I have
Caldera Street Station. name made me think.
I have for a very, very long time. I just always feel kind of shitty when I wake up. Whether or not I get enough sleep, whether or not... Uh-oh. Game crash? Game crash! Alright, I gotta wait for the cloud syncing to finish, and then I can boot it up again. Hang on a sec. Alright, here we go. Let's boot it up again. Let's see what happens. Worst case scenario, I just saved before running down there. Got a friend coming in early June who wants to stay for a couple days. Your condition is she masks at airports and on the plane. Tests at least 2 times between landing and coming here. Fair. Those sound like perfectly reasonable requests to me, generally speaking. Alright, just saved here. Which I think I did after doing the echo over there, right? I don't see the echo thing up there anymore on this sign. Yeah, I think we got that echo already. Alright. Most people are over it and just say no, yeah. Yeah, I get that. But I think I need to not be as worried about these shadows unless it seems like they're actually coming at me. Seems like I might be able to just run past a lot of them. Kind of makes this tense because every shadow is going to feel like a danger. Even though only a few of them are actually dangerous. But yeah, if I feel like I'm in a semi-dangerous thing, I will test weekly. Particularly dangerous, of course, at some point just means like somebody is showing symptoms. I know a lot of people are asymptomatic, but at a certain point, what can you do? Because tests are expensive. I can't just fucking afford to test all the time. So,
The gates to the platform were closed.
tis what it
I
is.
had a ticket. Something about the station platform felt significant. It would work in my writing, but I needed more. Something lingered here. A half-forgotten memory.
Yes, half of people are asymptomatic. There it is.
FBI agent had come here before me on the trail of a murder cult. He'd gone missing.
The rest just think they have a cold or allergies and don't test. Exactly. And that's why I tested this weekend, right? Is
Next,
I was sneezing a bit more than usual.
seen picture on the city map.
And like I was in the middle of saying when it crashed.
Station.
For forever, I have just mornings, when I wake up, morning or not, I always feel shittier.
Ghost of my fictional detective. A story thread I could use in my
Which
writing.
does mean that there are definitely... What the fuck? Let me out. There we go.
I would put
Thought it
the
was
thread
freezing again for a moment. I was like,
into my
no!
story to create a path deeper into the dark place.
Look, FBI agent plot. And activate it with a rewrite. They caught him. What trail led? Somewhere. Oh.
The story was affecting the scene. The dark place reacted to my story. The way into the tunnels was no longer blocked.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's neat. My guy managed to... I'm sorry, don't write? Your fault, don't write, don't write? Uh-oh. Maybe it's just the darkness trying to convince me not to. Well, that means for a long time I've always had this very annoying thing where, like, at a certain point, I will wake up, I will feel crappy, and I just won't know until later in the day if I feel... If my feeling crappy is just like, I'm a little dehydrated from sleeping, or
The fetid glimpse
if
of the
something
raw
worse,
darkness.
right?
It swallowed him whole.
I'm not missing the story here. Or just
The tracks
rewriting
led
it.
into the tunnel. That was my way forward.
Writing a path for ourselves. I don't like the number of shadow figures drawn into these
The
walls.
blood trail continued deeper into darkness.
Be fakes or reals? Oh. That one that came at me real quick. Had me for a second. Have a map of this place? No. Alright, that looks like a dead end. I don't think that's true, Rose Red. I am not a confirmed person to have had it, but I'm gonna say at least 90% sure that I probably got it in New York in 2020. Like right when it was just starting up. Whoa, fuck.
Shit. I don't like the sound of that.
Because I got pretty fucking sick, like fever and everything in New York. And I had a cough that was bad enough for me to get a cough suppressant, which is uncommon. That is like the only time I've had a cough bad enough that I got a cough suppressant to deal with it. And that would have been, before anybody knew anything about it. So I was working at a fucking grocery store, in a basement grocery store. Crowded as shit in a fucking New York City. So it's not surprising that, like, I took a full week off of work, had a bad fever, and a cough suppressant for, like, the first time in my life, basically.
It could not be opened on the side.
But it was also before testing existed. It was before people were masking. It was before everything. So it's like, I don't feel comfortable saying I've never had it, even if
A phrase repeated over
it seems
and over.
unlikely.
The words resonated with meaning. Had I written this?
Words of aid? Okay, but I found those ones and I put my light on it and it, like, didn't do anything before. I wonder if, because I hadn't triggered the thing yet, maybe. Um... So I'll get better painkillers for now. Everyone at work got a really bad respiratory thing in like January 2020. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. It's like, so I don't feel comfortable saying I'm a novid. I actually assume I am a had it person. But I've done a lot since then. There's a lot that has felt, there are things that have felt harder. I feel like, and you know, part of it was also becoming a lot more sedentary for a few years there. But, like, stairs and stuff were harder to go up for quite a while there. They would wear me out in a way that they never used to. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm like running up them or anything. And I can go for long walks and feel fine, but like, there's a lot of stamina stuff that I feel like is, even though I wasn't like super amazingly active and had like super high stamina prior to it, I do feel like there's some bigger hits that happened to my stamina and everything than
The tunnels were a maze. The blood trail led me on.
than I would have expected. And my attempts to get it back have not felt as fruitful as maybe they would have in the past or have in the past.
Another place to use in the story. I needed to search the tunnels for further visions. Inspiration for the story that would lead me deeper.
Yes, I found a new scene.
Idea for a scene.
Just prompts me for those like right away. I'm not in there anymore though, so we're not going to see the change,
Let's move the story forward.
which is funny. Busy looking around. Wasn't terrible for you, it just took forever to go away. It felt real bad for me.
I changed the story. And with that, the dark place changed.
Again, I was straight up like knocked out of work for a full week.
The cold can get you
Fever for days.
magic shit. Let the day shift handle it. What happened anyway?
Also surprising how much you can lose it just by not exercising for a while. True.
A satanic blood sacrifice.
But I mean, like, at this point, I've been a bit more active again for
Next. I heard their leader is
9 months or something, and I don't feel like it's even back to what it was
holy motherfucker.
in 2019.
Sounds like a load of bull.
And I wasn't exactly fit in 2019, you know? Oh, here's a light. We love that. Anything for me to look around at first? Batteries. Alright, so I can take the light. I know there's a spot backwards for me to use it. Oh. Another echo right there. Guess that's probably going to open up when we take the light, maybe?
Another echo lingered here. A source of inspiration.
I'll just take this light backwards, though. Word of lamp. Regain flashlight charge. That seems good. Restoring health seems cool too. Let's go for the restoring light though. That seems very good. Oops.
What do you know? Word is your research can help me, ma'am. What do you know?
There's more than one urban legend about the Cult of the Word. The murder cult used these tunnels for their ritual sacrifices. They say the cult reenacted the murders in Alan Wake's crime books. That Wake was even involved somehow, under a false identity. Mr. Scratch, which is, of course, a nickname for the devil himself.
It was disturbing finding myself in the story this way. But I was desperate, and it felt right for the story.
Off the flashlight to better avoid detection. Oh boy. Gotta start thinking about that, huh? Was there not a thing for me to write
This
on
new
that one?
heartbeat would carry me deeper into the story.
Murder cult. Ah, I see.
Changing a plot element in a scene without being there was impossible.
I'd have to go back to the tunnel and then write murder cult. Interesting. It's kind of shining lights on all those dudes, but... maybe I don't have to. Interesting, okay. Well, before we rewrite that... oh, hello.
A federal agent had come here looking for answers. All he found was a fate worse than death. The blood trail disappeared under the rubble. I had a feeling something was waiting there.
Yeah, hang on, Alan. We'll check it in a second. Blinky light room.
The water was gone. The way forward was open.
Well, this... shit, this is feeling like a way forward now, too. Ah, jeez. Ah, heck all jeez. There's a save point around here somewhere. Quick save. Another blinky light, or am I crazy? Not seeing another one. Okay. Alright, let's check out the collapsed mine first. Well... this feels more out of the way in a sense than the collapsed mine did. This is telling me to go to the collapsed tunnel, right? Alright. Let's do our rewrite real quick. The story seems like it wants me to go deeper.
I was making my way deeper into the story. I could could imagine this murder cult performing their macabre acts beyond the collapsed tunnel. The cultists laid the Casey novel onto the altar with reverence. Their twisted Bible.
Are these notes? Are these just pages of the book? Occultists being weirdos. I guess the guy didn't die here anymore. He maybe died somewhere else. Oh, and I can change this one up and back. Weird. I don't know if that changed something else now. Oh, is that Audie? It could be Breaker. I think he was humming too.
Hey, Alan. Tim Breaker. In case you don't remember again.
I know, Tim. I'm remembering more now.
It's good to hear, man.
Yeah, how you doing, man? Hey, just grab this map from you real quick. Oh, you got something new on there. What is this place? New York, not New York. Is Door the gatekeeper, maybe? He could be. Hang on, I'm gonna talk to you more in a moment, my guy. I know you haven't found Door yet, but I'm gonna ask you about it anyway. Nothing. Ooh. Alright, tell me about Door.
Mr. Door going?
It's not great. This dream we're in. Putting a lot of roadblocks in my way.
How'd you even get down here, dude?
So you think this is a dream?
I'm not ruling it out. You know, my dreams have always been incredibly vivid. They
Oh,
feel real.
Growing
until
up
the second
in
I wake up.
Cauldron Lake maybe is
dreams.
part of that.
I'm often someone else. A different person with a different name, living a different life in a different world. Alternate realities, maybe.
Those do sound pretty vivid.
But certain things don't change. Like Door.
Hmm.
The sketch you have does look like the Door I know. The talk show host.
All I know is the Door has something to do with what's happening to me. And he knows that I know. He's like some sadistic mastermind.
He knows. Alright, friendo. I'm just gonna go find a thermos. Then I'm probably calling it for the night. Night Springs.
Wait.
Hey, man. What if there's something cool down that hallway? There's nothing cool down that hallway. Ah, fuck! Oh! Dick! Coming through the door like that? Jesus Christ. Oh, teleporting. Yeah, give me some of these dang pills. Everyone's all worried about the one on the side. Freaking door guy. Oh, hey, thermos. Well, that was convenient. Alright. I gots to go. No late nights for us.